Grand Rising, my loves. You know, it was something that crossed my mind this morning that I feel that I need to speak on because I have personal experience on a situation. This message is strictly for my ladies, females who are taking care of men that are in prison. One day I'll tell my whole story, but that's not what this message is for. Let me give y'all a word of advice. If you've had a lover that's been in prison for a long time, it's very, very real and it's very, very certain that you'll be coming in prison too, mentally. Especially waiting on someone to come home for so long. But baby, let me tell you, in those years, that long process of waiting on that person to come home, you're a totally different person by then. They're a totally different person by then. And I'm going to be honest with you. Don't wait for nobody. Do not give that much of your mental, physical, spiritual to somebody and you don't know when they coming home. It will destroy you mentally. I know. I've been there. To give you a short summary, my personal opinion, 8 times out of 10, when that man comes home, you probably will most likely not be together. And let me tell you something, ladies. You think you're the only one on that visitation list? You think you're the only one that they're communicating with? There's so many things I learned. You would think I was in the inside of the prison. What I learned from him. The person who I called or thought, we always think our first love and this and this and that and that. He caught a case. The year was, I want to say 1998. I was about 12, 13, 14 years old. He was like 3 years older than me. Fast forward, when they gave him his time, it was 17 years. I know you're probably not going to believe this, and you're probably not going to ever really hear about a story like this too much. But when I tell you I stayed there by his side for those 17 years, and don't get it twisted. When I said stayed by his side, I mean took care of him while he was in there. He didn't miss commissary. He didn't miss too many visits. I didn't even have a kid with him, but I was making sure his kid was seeing him. I was taking those trips with his mother for years. And when we wouldn't go together, I'd go by myself. I really believed that I was going to be with this man for the rest of my life. About 2 years before he was to be released, I started dating a married man who I ended up with for a very long time, which was another mistake of my life. But I guess at the time I wanted to date someone who I didn't have to have a real commitment with, so I wouldn't have to face breaking it off with that person, breaking their heart whenever this man from prison came home. It would be easier for me to leave the other person. Well, fast forward, this guy in prison got released. I never left the other guy. I didn't even want to be with the guy who came home. I was a totally different person in those 17 years that have passed. And when I tell you, you would think that we got together, had a relationship, and ended up married or some shit the way we thought it was going to happen. But let me tell you something, I do not regret being there for that guy because that's what I was supposed to do. Spirit guided me to do that. And I wish him all the best. He's done, like, I watch him, I see since he's came home, it's been years now. It's probably been about, I want to say 5, if I'm not mistaken. And, he has a relationship. He has kids. He has a stable income. He's, I'm really proud and I'm really happy to say that I was able to plant that seed of helping someone along for that long. However, I lost myself spiritually, mentally, physically. It drained me. I went through so much trauma because he was locked in that prison. But mentally, I was locked in that prison too. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Move on with your lives. If you're going to be committed to anything, anyone, please make sure that you commit to yourself. It'll save you so many years of trauma and heartbreak, I promise you. Peace, love, and light, and darkness. Because it's a balance, baby.